Hey everybody, welcome back to One Man's Perspective. Just wanted to say apologies for not getting in yesterday. Day 9 was insane at the World Cup, but we're going to talk about it today. Day 10 is going on right now. England, Wales, US, Iran currently playing as we speak. But let's get into day 9 because it was honestly, in my opinion, the best day of the World Cup so far. First two games, scoring 11 goals between the two games. Absolutely crazy scenes in both games. Let's start off with the first game of the day, Cameroon, Serbia, finishing 3-3. Whew. I mean, damn. This game was crazy. Like, Cameroon, off to a good start, go up 1-0. Then you get two first half stoppage time goals for Serbia. They go into the break 2-1. Soon into the second half, you go up 3-1. And you're like, man, this game is over. Serbia, okay. A lot of people considered them the dark horse going into this tournament. But then, boom, great substitution. Vincent Abubakar comes off the bench, not only scores a goal, but assists the third equalizing goal by Choupo-Moting. And yeah, this game was absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know what to say. What I will say about this is I think a lot of people, wrote off Cameroon, but I think Cameroon was one of the teams that I had actually predicted to get into the second round. We'll see because, round 3 is beginning today. So let's just say what it is. Africa has arrived. They've had great results over the last 5 results. The Morocco win over Belgium, Tunisia drawing with Denmark, this, draw between Cameroon and Serbia. The next game that we're about to talk about, Ghana coming, not coming back, but essentially fighting off a Carlos Proud, period. And I think people need to start giving them more credit than what they've currently been given by FIFA, who is so Eurocentric. It's mind-boggling. But that said, this game was absolutely ridiculous. It was fun for the neutral. I'm just going to leave it at that. It was a great game, open end-to-end, second half. It was just a lot of fun to watch. Credit to Cameroon. Serbia, that was a missed opportunity for you. Especially going into the round 3 deciding games, which basically going into round 3, I think 29 of 32 spots are still open. Or excuse me, not 29, 29 of 32 teams are still fighting for that spot in the last 16. Pardon me. So yeah, this World Cup has been great. I've been absolutely thrilled. Great games. This was one of them. Honestly, like I said, today or yesterday was probably day of the tournament in my opinion. Let's get into game 2 real quick. Ghana, South Korea. Ghana, man, Black Stars. You guys are doing, what you always do. You always make it super fun. You're probably one of the most entertaining sides at the World Cup, and you always are. But what I would say is you guys are 2 up at the half. You're going good. Things are smooth. But as they say in football, 2-0 is probably the most difficult scoreline to defend. And it showed because, you get 2 goals in like a 4-minute span for South Korea at the beginning of the second half. And all of a sudden it's 2-2. You're like, crap. All right, here we go again. We're underperforming. We're not going to get to the second round. We're not, bringing it as we can. This is Ghana here. And then out of nowhere, end of the game, 3-2 from Mohamed Kudus, who's been phenomenal in both games so far. I think a rising star. I think Ajax needs to start paying attention and utilize him more. But either way, he stepped up to the plate. He basically, was my man of the match, hands down. He's also in my, FIFA World Cup fantasy team. So thank you, Kudus, for scoring your 2 goals yesterday. That said, this was an incredible game as well. Again, one team up ahead, then all of a sudden another team comes back, Ghana ahead, South Korea comes back, and then boom, end of the game. Finishes off crazy. South Korea honestly just pushing to the end of the game and left Heung-min Son in tears. I feel bad for him because I actually respect him heavily as both a person and a player. But yeah, South Korea just couldn't get that win. And Ghana, in good position in that group, which is a crazy group. But let's get into to our third game of the day because we had some absolutely incredible games. 11 goals in those first two games alone. But again, like I said, I think AFCON should be proud. The Africa contingent has done well in this World Cup, as has the Asian contingent. I think they need to start getting a little bit more respect for the quality that they have. FIFA needs to be stopping so Eurocentric and, dominating their world rankings by Europeans because they claim that they're, harder teams to play. And while that might be the case, right now you have Belgium as number 2 in the world, and they've woefully underperformed. And we'll get into that later, just their, massive dressing room drama there. But let's get into, game 3 of the day. Yesterday was Brazil-Switzerland. The Swiss are an incredibly organized side. They have a great spine. I will say Manuel Akanji has done phenomenal in this tournament. I think, Granit Xhaka has had a continued renaissance, and especially in the Swiss side. They essentially have a very solid group of players. And if it was not for a ridiculous worldie by Casemiro in the 83rd minute, I believe, this game probably would have ended in a 0-0 draw and would have been well-deserved by the Swiss. I mean, the Swiss played an excellent game to nullify the Brazil attack. Rafinha, Vinny Jr., Richarlison were all invisible almost in that game. Not necessarily invisible, but I would say nowhere near to the levels that they could perform. And that was down to a very organized, very diligent, very dogged Swiss defense. And credit to them. Truly credit to them. They are a very tough team. However, that's going to be a very hard group to get out of. Honestly, there are no easy groups in the World Cup, period. But yeah, Casemiro, honestly, that was a superb strike. I've got mad respect for the skill that it takes to, hit that ball first time coming out of the air, with essentially outside of your boot, just whew. I mean, that was to me right now, is honestly one of the goals of the tournament, and might even be the goal of the tournament. We'll see at the end of the World Cup and see who gets that accolade. But that was class, pure class, from a player that I also have mad respect for, despite the fact that he plays for Manchester United, But anyway, that said, let us now get into the final game of yesterday, which was Portugal versus Uruguay. Uruguay, again, a lot of people consider them a dark horse coming to the tournament. I think they've unfortunately underperformed, haven't scored a goal in the tournament so far. I think, unfortunately, their crop of incredibly great players, Suarez, Cavani, Godin, and so on, are unfortunately, I want to say past their prime. I mean, Suarez and Cavani are still excellent. Godin is still a very good defender, despite him being as old as he is. But I don't think that they have essentially what will get them through. And what I absolutely love is, because of this result, it actually now goes down to a Ghana-Uruguay grudge match, which will determine who moves on in that group. And I can't wait to see that game. For those who don't remember, back in the 2010 World Cup, Ghana and Uruguay, Ghana was playing. They're both playing to get into the last four. They were in the quarterfinals of the 2010 World Cup, and there was the Suarez hand of God moment where he blocked at the very end of the game a goal-bound shot from Ghana, and they were, he was red carded. They were awarded a penalty. Asamoah Gyan unfortunately hit the crossbar, and the rest is history. Uruguay moved on penalties. But this match will be a ridiculous grudge match. I can't wait. That said, let's get back to the game from yesterday. As you can see with my ridiculous little picture here on the screen, I'm making fun of Ronaldo because essentially Bruno Fernandes ran the show yesterday and was phenomenal for Portugal. I think he scored a brace. Ronaldo, of course, tried to claim the first goal because it, slightly, nicked his hairline, which is why I'm making a joke that this will be his hairline at the next game so that he actually gets awarded the goal, because obviously everything is always about Ronaldo. I mean, the man's ego is massive and ridiculous. That said, Bruno Fernandes, I think honestly that's another, just to get back to Ronaldo real quick. Messi is basically single-handedly trying to pull his team through Argentina, who have been underperforming, but he brought them through in that last game against Mexico. What I would say is Ronaldo, the GOAT debate between Messi and Ronaldo, people are like, oh, Ronaldo. And yes, like he had a good game. If it wasn't for his presence in the box at that moment from Bruno Fernandez's cross, it would not have gone in. So credit to him for that. But he's not had a particularly good tournament. Bruno Fernandes has been excellent. I would say Ruben Diaz at the back has been excellent. I'd say Bernardo Silva has played very well. I mean, essentially, that group is single-handedly pulling Ronaldo through the tournament, not the other way around. So we can have the Messi Ronaldo GOAT debate at another time. That said, Bruno Fernandes, excellent ball into the box. Ronaldo's presence, basically, what I would say is distracted the goalkeeper to the point where he didn't make the save because he thought Ronaldo was going to head it. But, credit to Bruno Fernandes for that incredible cross. That said, second goal was, in my mind, just so contentious. Yet another contentious penalty. Ronaldo at this point was off the pitch, so of course he didn't score, which thank God. I mean, you never hear the end of it from Ronaldo fanboys. But Bruno Fernandes steps up, gets his brace, second goal of the game as the designated penalty taker at that point. But essentially, ball goes through Jose Maria Jimenez's legs, and as he's falling back, essentially the ball touches his hand. Incidental, natural position. I mean, literally textbook definition of what not a penalty is. And of course, VAR, being stupid as they are and essentially so subjective and have no clue clearly what the rules are of the game, tells the ref to go to the, sideline, take a look. The ref's like, oh, well, maybe I should, overturn my on-field decision and get awards a penalty, which to me was yet another non-penalty for Portugal. This is the second one because the Ronaldo one was a dive in the first game. So, Portugal, I think are a very good team. I think they will make it to they've already made it to the next round. They I think will do well in this tournament, but I don't think that they're playing to the capabilities they possibly can because they've been awarded things that they didn't deserve and have underperformed in certain games. So like the Ghana game. That said, yesterday was arguably the best day of the tournament period. It was just African pride, Ronaldo's hair nonsense, oh my God, it touched my hair, and honestly, yeah, Casemiro essentially scoring a worldie. I mean, it was literally one of the best days that I've seen at a World Cup in a while, literally in a single day. But yeah, I mean, every single day here on will just be continuously great. I'm excited for today's games. I already watched some this morning, and we're going to come back and do a recap later on today. But everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is just one man's perspective. Hopefully you don't give me too much crap for my making fun of Ronaldo, but he deserves it. So anyway, thanks everybody. We'll catch you next time. Enjoy the rest of the games today, and we'll catch you later on tonight when we do our recap. Cheers, everybody.